Hello everyone, and welcome to Craft Hags. I'm your host, Danny Hartel, and this is episode 12 of season 2. We're getting up there in episodes. Everything's coming together nicely. You might have seen I posted a couple things on Twitter and Instagram this morning. I'm really excited about all the progress. I've got way more to show you. I've got some things that I'm keeping a little bit secret until I get a lot more work done on it, because I'm really excited about it, and I feel like you're going to be really excited about it, but I don't know. I'm trying not to get anxious about it either, but I think it'll be really cool. And I'm going to have a lot of photos taken this afternoon of all the cool stuff we've been doing, like with real lighting and, intent. So hopefully those photos turn out well. Those will be going on the Twitter moment. That is on the @CraftHags Twitter if you want to catch up on everything we've been doing so far. And just in case you're brand new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, we're making a D&D costume. And this costume is of my personal D&D character. Her name is Scrummy. She is a gnome warlock who serves the demon queen Zugtmoy. And Zugtmoy is the demon queen of ooze and death and decay and mushrooms, basically. So everything is super mushroom related. And in episode 1, we planned out the costume. It looks like this. But, surprise, I've changed my mind on some shit. So, what we're going to do today is figure out some sort of headgear for her. That's a weird way to phrase it, but it's kind of going to be like a headband, kind of more like a headdress, some, just stuff that goes on Scrummy's head. And I kind of decided this because my natural hair color is brown. It's this color. I know this is hard to see. I'm so sorry. But I felt like she could just use a little something up there, and like her cute little hair, she's she's gross, she's messy. Real quick, I see a question in the chat. I think you mean Zugtmoy. Yeah, TK has just answered for me. That is how you spell Zugtmoy. She lives in the Underdark. You can read most about her, I think, in Out of the Abyss is the main book that she comes from, or was most recently written about. She's a really old character, I think. Zugtmoy, not my character. But, yeah, everything Scrummy has been based on her service to Zugtmoy, who wants to turn everybody in all the realms into mushrooms that serve her, and it's really funny to me. I love that idea. So yeah, go read more about Zugtmoy. She's my queen. Love her so much. But yeah, what are we doing today? We're making head stuff, because her head's just real naked. I just decided it was boring up there, and like, at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll just like make a little string with some moss tied to it. And that's cool, but like, we all love a good headdress, and I just feel like this could be kind of epic. So I obviously don't want to change the silhouette too much. I really like where this is going right now with like, she's a little bit conservative in like, she's not looking for a lot of attention. I don't want this to be like some, carnival looking thing either, and those are gorgeous and they have their place, but like, Scrummy is still kind of a little bit of a nobody in her world, and she she's just not going to have something massive, even though that would just be so much fun to design. But I think what we're going to do, I don't have any tracing paper nearby, but that would be smart of me to get some tracing paper and lay it on top of the design I've already figured out and like doodle a little bit and then just see how it adds, like without ruining my photo. I can just print out another one of these and I don't really care. So I'm going to draw right on it. But basically what we're starting out with, our idea, is that I'm going to be wearing this headband, and this is just a normal, went to Walmart headband, in with all the hair stuff. It's just made of like cotton or whatever. The thing I really like about this headband is that it has a little line of silicone on the bottom, the part that sticks to your head, and it doesn't slide anywhere, and I love it, except brown and light blue aren't really my favorite colors to wear, so I never wear it. I just, like, it sits on my shelf. I have a black and gray one, and I wear that one all the time because that's more my speed. So I'm going to use this one to make the whole piece on, because I know it fits, I know it'll stay there well, and I really recommend if you're going to put something on your head that you start with something that's comfy and that it's secure, you know it's not going to go anywhere, because you can come up with all sorts of ideas for stuff to put on your head to go with a costume, but if you can't figure out how to get it to stay on there, you're just going to be like holding it on all day, or just like standing up straight like, I'm really excited, but I can't nod or look around too hard, and like, that's no fun. That's so dumb. But yeah, so I know this fits, and I know that it can't hold a lot of weight either, so we can't make anything too big, and I don't want to make anything too big anyway, because I don't want it to be the focal point of this piece, this costume. So basically, if I just start with this pen and I draw just about where the thing's gonna sit, which is right where it's sitting now. And I know you guys can't really see that, but all I did was draw like a little line. And so I know I don't want to make my head wider at all, because I'm already going to have those ears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a makeup episode, I think it was episode 9 or 10, where I did the makeup episode. I put ears on, eyes, makeup, the whole 9 yards, but then my hair was just my hair. This is also going to help add a lot of brown up here, because I'm not sure I want to like dye or paint my hair. I could temporary dye it to match the brown, or I could just be like, hey, maybe Scrummy has blonde hair now? Kind of doesn't matter. The day of, we'll see what I'm feeling like. Maybe I'll just throw like some temporary brown dye in there, or they have that spray hair stuff. I could easily do that too. I probably will. I know they even have those spray dyes in green and like yellow, or like weird gross colors. That could be cool, just to like discolor the hair color I currently have. I'll put it in the camera so you can see what we're working with here. Obviously, I mean, like, I spend a lot of time toning my hair. I don't want to ruin the color I have. So yeah, it's just gonna be, I think, best to see what we can add on top, just to continue the like poofy rooster look thing that she's got going on, and it's kind of what my hair does already, which is super cute, and I like it. I dig the rooster look, and I don't know why, but I think, I mean, here's what we have to work with too. We've got moss. I've got this leather strip stuff. This is the stuff I made the boots out of. It's like this color right here, and I know that we want to bring some of that gray up into the head, because we have all our warm colors around the middle here, and then everything around the outside was supposed to be blues and purples and grays. And so keeping with that theme, anything around the edges needs to be those grays. And then like that can be like a warm gray. You can put some browns in there here, like mix it up, but we do want to stick with mostly, I think, greens and grays. And then, so I think this is going to be the main thing that we use to cover this ugly headband, because this is not what we want it to look like. Yeah, I see some of you said it would look cool if I still had green hair. I did used to have green hair. It was like an olive green, and I loved it, and I miss it so much. It was just so much work. But yeah, TK says they have hair wax that I can use for temporary color, and it will clump up and make it greasy, which is so scrummy. TK gets it. But yeah, we've got a lot to work with here. So I think what we're gonna do is just do a little doodle real quick, just to see, like, I'm just gonna kind of draw what I think it might end up looking like. just in like squiggles. And this is just to show us a little bit of what it's going to do to the whole costume. Man, it looks like I just drew a pineapple on my head. That's hilarious. I'm also going to get a bigger pen because that pen is invisible. Where did it go? Ooh, brush. We don't want a brush. Is that nice and big? That's bigger. Alright. Sorry. Let's test this pen. Yeah, you guys can see that better. And I'll fix the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing in just a second. So yeah, I don't want to bring it down onto my forehead at all. But I do just want to see what it would look like if I added just a bunch of clumpy weirdness to the top. And then maybe my hair is just kind of buried in there, but we like make that rooster shape a little crazier. Eh? I mean, it kind of makes me look a little more evil too, like kind of like henchman, like evil henchman, like I could be Zugtmoy's servant and maybe I'll take over one day or something. So yeah, we've got I mean, like, that's minimal. It doesn't make my head look crazy big. It also doesn't compete with the ears too much. That's the other thing, is if we had this, like, just massive whatever, where those ears are going to get lost. And we really want those to be, like, a big focal point. So, yeah, I think as long as we keep it thin, right about here, and maybe no more than an inch thick, maybe an inch or two thick, and then that'll look kind of like a headdress of some kind. I don't know if there are things that look like that in real life, but I think as long as it's going mostly up and not too wide on the back, we'll be fine. So yeah, I can dig that. It's not bad. And that dark, that's the other thing, is we used a black pen, but I really don't mind how dark it got up there. Like, it kind of adds contrast because my skin's really light, and when I do the scrummy makeup, it gets even grayer and lighter. Like, I've been in the Underdark too long, like cave animal type stuff, you know, albino. And so if we keep the headdress dark, that'll almost make this area the highest contrast on the whole piece, which would really help. And then my pupils with those contacts in are big and black, and then there's that bright yellow all the way around, so that would keep all that focus there, and I really like that idea. So now that we kind of have a good idea of the shape we want, I'm gonna open the door because I need some air in here. And why do I need air in here? Well, it's because TK Joins the Fray was talking to me on Twitter this morning, and they had an incredible idea to put slugs in my headdress. And I was like, that's a really good idea, but that is just so crazy, I could never pull that off. And then the longer I thought about it, I was like, well, just the other day we were here making little silicone mushrooms, right? And that went well, and slugs are a super simple shape. So if I just do exactly what I did with those mushrooms, I could easily make slugs. And so I made slugs this morning. They're all flipped over right now because the silicone I own, and it's just this kind, I'll show you. It's just like from the hardware store, clear silicone, 100%. It's nothing like the crazy dragon skin silicone or the things they use for effects or, you know, props and stuff. You could get crazy, you know, nice silicone. If I were putting this on my body anywhere, I would definitely want to use not industrial silicone. Please don't put it on your body. Go get dragon skin. Smooth On makes a million different silicone products that are great for skin and special effects and stuff like that. It is a little spendy, but it's worth it to not die, right? So do that. But what I came up with, and they're still a little wet on the bottom because they needed to air dry. Oh wait, they're almost done. So what I did That one's a little weird looking. I mixed in some gray and green paint just to make some little sluggies. They're so gross. And they're beautiful, and they're perfect for scrumming. And I can just glue those on to whatever we come up with today. But yeah, they are see-through and slimy, and there's a couple different colors here. I made a big one because that was so gross. I actually really don't like slugs in real life, and I have them in my yard all the time. Not really big ones or anything. I do live in eastern Washington, in case anybody's wondering. We get those little teensy slugs that are like that big, but they still crawl over the sidewalk, and it's like, but yeah, I really like how these turned out. They still need to cure a little bit. They're soft in the middle, like a good cookie. Don't eat it though. But yeah, so this will probably be a finishing touch, and we can like put it up next to my face, like this. That is so gross. Now I want to see. Ew! Ah! Guys, TK, this was too good of an idea. TK joins the fray, everybody. They're in the chat, and they deserve a round of applause because this was an incredible idea. Somebody said, what kind of mold did you use? Actual slug molds? No, all I did was I took that silicone, I squirted it in little lines, like thick lines, kind of like a piping bag with icing on a cake. And then to get the tops like flat and beautiful and glossy, I put a piece of saran wrap on top and just kind of used my fingers to smooth it out and like push it down into these little slug shapes. Because they're not perfect, like, you know, like it's got a thick part in the middle and down the sides is a little thinner. Like that. So yeah, all I did was push down with my fingers, and then these do need air to dry. I hate this brand of silicone. There are silicones you can get that don't need air to dry, and if you can find some of that, you can make anything, or you can make silicone in the shape of basically anything you can do if you can cover it in saran wrap and just form it, and then peel it all off after it's cured. Great, beautiful, right? I'm gonna drink some tea. Hang on one sec. But yes, so we have those to play with. We'll save those for last. Some other stuff we have, obviously moss. I said that already. I've got paint, just acrylic paint. And if this moss is like too bright or it's not dirty enough, you know, stuff like that, that's what I would be using the paint for. I would just take a brush and like kind of stipple it in here just to knock it back so that it's not like, hi, moss! You know, I want it to be not the first thing you see when you look at my face. The face is the point, not the moss ball on my head. So that might need to be like taken down a notch if it's too bright. Other cool things I have to mess with are our favorite, slubs. Everybody loves a good slub. Also, I can paint these. They're just a really good texture mechanism. If anybody doesn't know what a slub is, they are our favorite thing ever on this show. They're a wool byproduct, I guess. It's just kind of like a ball, like a mat that comes out of the sheep wool process of like combing it all out. Sometimes these mats just can't get combed out. They just cut them out. But then they put them in bags and sell them, and they call them slubs. I don't know why, but they do. And we really like slubs here. But anyway, they're cool. You can kind of like ball them up, spread them out. Some of them are shaped like little dots. Some of them are big. You know, they just kind of do their own thing. And they're great because they look natural, kind of like, you know, just plant matter you'd find on the ground or, you know, who knows what. And my idea here is I'm going to tint some liquid latex And if you don't know about liquid latex, just go get some. You can prime it on Amazon. That's probably the best place to find it if it's not currently Halloween. Halloween stores usually have it too because it's a super great intro to monster makeup thing that people like to play with. This was the first thing I ever played with when I was doing like fake scars and stuff just for fun, you know, like you do. And then it dries really easily. It's, if you're not allergic to latex, it's great for use on skin, but you can also paint it onto just about anything, especially like clothes and costumes that you want to make look like they're covered in mud, because it dries clear, but it also can be filled with things. Like in the past, I have mixed this with sand and then painted it on a giant's helmet, let's say, and then painted on top of it, and it looked like corroded metal, which was really cool. It's just a really cool way to stick texture onto just about anything. So we'll be using some of this. Great stuff. And then we've also got just some wool here that I've just pulled. And I can just add color to the moss or anything, really. I could just stick it on there. I could, like, mash it into the moss. And it would almost just kind of look like discolored moss. And obviously I would do it a lot thinner. But you can just kind of run it in there, and look at that! That already looks way cool! That looks like some Underdark moss to me, right? So yeah, let's get started. First off, it's going to be a little hard for me to test this on. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can't hear me anymore, because I just touched something. But, I'll keep talking. What I'm going to have to do is kind of hold it up and just be like, what does that look like? Which isn't really the best way to test this for now, but I'll have to perfect this later. Crystal says everybody can hear me, so thanks, Crystal. You guys are my sound guys. I didn't know if you knew that, but you just got promoted. But so what I did was I just took some of this leather that I made the boots out of. It's just a scrap. This is actually the back side. I really want to encourage everybody, if you're going to be doing costumes and stuff, check out the back side of your leather. Sometimes it's way better than the front side, for depending on what your needs are. But like, see how like shiny and normal that looks? This is like matte and fuzzy, and I can actually take sandpaper to it, like either rough or smooth sandpaper. These are sanding blocks. If you're going to be doing a lot of distressing, go pick up one of these. It's really cool. But then you can just kind of drag it. And I can show you on this side so you can see a little better. How it just roughs it up, makes it look like somebody's already been wearing it for 50 years. Great, right? Like instant old clothing look. I love sandpaper. Use it on everything. Great. But so what I did this morning was I just kind of slashed this with my rotary cutter. And then that way, when I like kind of fold it up like this, it'll like make a couple different shapes instead of just like one, you know? I know I'm not explaining myself well, but it's just not a flat shape anymore. It kind of looks like there's a bunch of strips being folded over each other. And then I left the sides uncut because I'm going to sew them up like this probably to match the width of the headband I'll be sewing them on. And then I'll just be sewing it on the back side and then around the top and then on the other side where it reaches. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm starting with this shape. And then it's just irregular because I know I don't want this to look too clean. I want it to have a lot of interesting texture. So actually, first off, I really like how it feels already, but I really hate this just big straight line. It's just kind of gross. I mean, like, it's not gross. It's not gross enough is really the problem. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take a couple of these edges and fold them up. Oh yeah, look at that. And you just kind of get some random cutouts. I don't want to cut off too much, but that already helps. Just so it's like a little bit more of a garbagey look, I guess. You know, garbage. We all love garbage. But so now, like, once I kind of pull this all together like this, it already just looks like a bunch of strips, but it's really just one strip. And then it'll go around my head when I'm not wearing headphones, like this. Somebody said, building, sewing, creating, artisting. What is the word here? I think we call it crafting? Yeah, Crystal's got it. We are called craft hags, but also I really like the word crafting because then it's not specifically any one thing, you know? Like, we're not just painting, we're not just designing, we're not just cosplaying, we're doing a lot of stuff, and, you know, it's good to find nice vague words that include everybody sometimes, too. But so, I really like this one bit that's, like, hanging off, but it's a little long. Let's just see where it hits me. Oh, so it would kind of be hanging off the side. You can see it dangling. I think I'll leave it there. And then I can always discolor this as much as I want too, if everything that we add doesn't add enough variation to make it look, you know, old and used enough. That's what paint's for. So what I think we're gonna do, let's start. Let's just start by pinching the ends so that we can get an idea of what it's gonna do body-wise, like what kind of fluffs it's gonna make. And so I think the easiest way is just gonna be folding it like that. We've got a little alligator clip. That'll hold it. I'm gonna get a bigger alligator clip. Here's one. Same thing over here, just kind of folding it into thirds. And that will be what we sew down onto the headband that I wear. So yeah, now we know how it's going to sit on top of my head. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, somebody said, I assume this is for D&D or is it for LARP? That's the thing, you know? I have never LARPed before. I've never known anybody who LARPs. I don't have a community of friends who LARP. It looks really cool and quite interesting, and I would absolutely love to go someday, but it's just not been something I've figured out how to do yet, or found time to do, sadly. But it looks super cool, and like I fully intend to wear this costume to every convention I go to this summer. I don't know what the schedule looks like for that yet, but I would also really love to go LARPing or go to a Ren fair and wear this, you know. There's a lot of places I want to wear this. But we'll see. We'll see what my summer looks like. I'm also moving this summer, so I might not have time to do any of that. We'll see. But yeah! So I think what we're going to do here is just get the liquid latex out. Let's just get it out! And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've prepared a area on my cutting board called the gross zone, and it's just saran wrap taped to the table. Oh, I forgot how much this stuff smells. It's real gross. And I don't know why. I don't know why it needs to reek like that. And it is going to pour out white. Ooh, there's a lump in there too. That's good. That's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to remember that this dries clear, and so all the paint that we add to it needs to be pretty minimal. But what colors? You can't tell what I'm doing. I'm digging through a box of paint under my desk. Wow. Ooh, here's a brown. Brown. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of brown paint. What were our colors up there? Gray. So we do want to make sure that this isn't too warm of a brown. We want it to be like a muted brown. So we'll add a little black. And then get a little brush. Where's our little brush? Here we go. My husband gives me all the old brushes he doesn't use for his Magic the Gathering paintings anymore, and so I have a lot of really nice brushes that are just my garbage brushes now. So you really don't have to add a lot of paint to this stuff because it carries paint pretty well. So you want to add it in slowly. But then also we just really don't care too much what this stuff's going to look like. Because it's, you know, it's supposed to be messy. It's scrummy. It's scrummy. And we're going to water it down just with some water. Actually, I'm not really too sure what happens when you add too much water to liquid latex. You'd think something like really weird would happen, but I don't know. I guess we'll see, you know. And for anybody who's wondering, my husband's name is Chris Ron. He's been working on Magic the Gathering for a long time. He's actually done work on D&D as well. I'm very proud of him, and I love him very much. And he's pretty cool. But he's mostly pretty cool because he gets all this weird stuff I do. So I'm just going to shove some slubs in here now. I'm just going to get them all painted up. And I still have the door open next to me, letting in a lot of fresh air because this stuff reeks. Oh man, you guys. Alright, we're just going to get our hands really dirty. You ready for this? Sorry, that was really loud. This is disgusting. I'm going to try to fix the camera so you guys can see like just how nasty this is. Let's see. Yeah. Gross. Super nasty. I'm just gonna go right ahead and scoot this in. Cool. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so disgusting. And I have some actual wool that looks very similar to that. It's just like scoured wool. It's got a lot of texture to it. But this stuff is actually sticky. Since it has that liquid latex in it, it's gonna act like glue too. So really, like let's just start putting stuff on, see what happens, right? So I know it's gonna go around this way, but the thickness of it basically has to be going backwards. So we're gonna make kind of a T shape, because this part's gonna be the part that lays on my ponytail. So first let's just shove that on there. Oh, it's already sticky. Oh, this is exciting, you guys. And then if we really want to make sure it sticks, we can just paint some more latex on there. And if it doesn't have any paint in it, it's going to dry clear. The other cool thing is liquid latex dries glossy, so it's going to be shiny and gross. Like, it might even look a little bit wet. So, yeah, this could get real nasty. And don't worry too much if you get liquid latex on, like, your table, because you can just rub it right off again. It's just like glue, you know? like rubber cement glue, if you've ever messed with rubber cement. I always used to mess with rubber cement in like middle school when you totally weren't supposed to. I think it's really not good for your skin and stuff. But I was like, look, you can make little balls out of it, and I would make like I think I got like a rubber cement ball made about like this big. Like it took me like a whole year of art classes that I was messing around in. Definitely not doing my work. You know, like you do. And so I'm just gonna like start painting this, and it should dry pretty quick, and if it doesn't, I'll go get my hairdryer and we'll blast it so that we can see. Let's get some more slubs going though, right? We like slubs. But we do want to paint the slubs up real good because they're white, and we don't really want to add any white here. We want to make sure that everything's covered. And I know you'll see some white in here, but that's gonna dry clear, just remember. Crystal says it's very not good for your skin. I'm glad. I'm glad you told me now. At least I didn't die or get, like, some sort of disease from it. Alright, so we got some more slubs here. I'm just gonna add these slubs to the front. The queen of the slubs! Oh, wow. Oh, this looks cool, you guys. Oh my god. You see my feet? I'm losing it. This is cool. Oh, it just looks so gross. I can't believe it. I'm gonna hold this up and see if you can tell. Ugh! It's going well, you guys. It's going well. I mean, like, we needed to give, like, a little bit of a, I don't know, a tribute, I guess, to the slubs. Merciful DM just got, did you? I can't figure out if, Automod, like, blocked you or no? Oh, no, you, have 4 months in a row subscribed. Congrats, Merciful DM, for subscribing 4 months in a row. She said, slub it up. We all love slubs. Uh-oh. We have a slub that's white. Found its way on there. Those dirty slubs. But yeah, so for anybody who's just joining us, we are putting slubs in colored liquid latex. We've colored it with acrylic paint. And we're just rolling it around in there. And then sticking it on. And this leather strip thing, mess, nonsense we've got going on here will be a headband that I will sew to an actual headband that's comfortable later. But right now we're just seeing what kind of mess we can make first. Let's get a couple more slubs in here. And this is the thing, is I could really mix almost anything I wanted in here. In fact, let's get crazy. I have this stuff. It is called Mica Silver Glitter. I got it at some place called Craft Warehouse. And it's literally just mica flakes. But they're so pretty. And I really love how pretty they are because they're like glitter that's like natural looking, and it's rough. Like it's like sequins, but not made by a machine, which looks so freaking cool. And like, because Scrummy's from the Underdark, and Scrummy is supposed to look slimy and wet here and there, if we can get some of these to stick, then our freaking nasty headdress will be glittery at the same time. And that's just about the coolest thing I've ever heard. I don't know about you. So I'm gonna mix some of this liquid latex again. Just kind of dollop it on in a couple spots here. Mostly on the top, though. We're not going to go down the sides because we don't want to draw attention to the sides of my head. More like the top. So we're going to dollop on top and then go just a few. We're not going to go nuts. This isn't for, you know, some place where you want to look glamorous. But we're gonna get this big old slub. This nasty slubs. Glitter, slubs, and slugs. Match made in heaven. Yup! You're right, artful jackalope. So because we've got some slubs, let's mix it up a little bit and get, I don't know, we've got a lot of gray, we've got a lot of mossy green. Oh my god! Merciful DM said, don't forget to slub to the D&D channel! Yeah. Does that count as a pun? I don't know if it does. I hate puns, but I love you. Everybody should go check out Merciful DM's podcast, Behold Her, because it's amazing, and she talks to a lot of really cool people about what they like about D&D. And I feel like this audience might enjoy that, so everybody go check it out. So I'm just going to pull some of this wool. It's like purpley gray. It's a very gray purple wool. And I'm just going to kind of pull it into some of the moss. This is going to look like a giant hairball. People aren't even going to know what they're looking at when it's on my head. Which is the best part. They're going to be touching my head and be like, what is that? That's like honestly actually one of my favorite reactions when you're dressed up somewhere, like at a convention or something, and people are like, what is that made out of? Because they're just like a little concerned. I think it's hysterical. So yeah, this liquid latex is already drying, and it kind of looks like tar, which is awesome. Because Zugtamoy loves ooze just as much as she loves all the rest of it. I really want to use this thing, though. This is the other stuff. I think it would look cool under the moss, kind of like that. So, like, when it's on my head, this stuff would kind of just be flowing around and look like it's almost part of my ponytail. So, but it's white. And obviously white is awful. We don't want white to be a part of this. It's not part of our costume design. White on top of my head would look bad. So we gotta figure out how to color this. And this is just ostrich feathers, and it was like on a clip, and I tied it down the middle because earlier this morning when I first found it in my backlog of nonsense, it was like spreading out sideways, and I really didn't like that. It wasn't the shape I wanted. But I do want like something on this headdress to be a little weird, you know, like I don't know. I think it looks kind of gross. Like if we could get it to kind of stick in my hair a little bit, it might, I don't know. I don't know what it'll look like. So we got to figure out how to color this. And I think what we can do is maybe water down some paint. So we'll use some of this water that doesn't have liquid latex in it yet. Ah, slub. Runaway slub. Because feathers are like, you know, feathers are kind of made to be in the water, right? Let's just try a really light color. This might totally ruin it, too. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. Ooh, how about this color? like periwinkle, which kinda matches the pants that we made last week. Everybody go check out those pants. It's a short episode, and it worked out well. I was very surprised at how well that episode went. So then we'll get some more black, just to tone down. Where did the paint go? Did I already put it back in here? I'm going crazy, you guys. Alright. Ooh, fart noises. The best part. So, I already ruined this paintbrush with latex, so we gotta get a new one. Let's get something that I can use to kind of spread these out with. And I do want to do it on the gross zone over here, so that I can kind of paint onto the table. Where'd my water go? Boop boop. So let's see how this goes, guys. I'm not really sure what it's gonna do. We'll try to use very little pigment, because the acrylic paint is what's gonna ruin the feathers more than the water will. So we're just gonna try this. I won't even do it to all of them at first. How about that? Is it thin? Yeah, it's pretty thin. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Kinda. And hopefully it just kind of tints these feathers. So we'll see. Ooh, somebody said inks work on feathers. That's a good idea. We'll only paint that many. Oh, that looks weird, you guys. I don't know if that's gonna work at all. It just kind of got stringy and gross. Maybe stringy and gross is good, though. I don't know. Yeah, Robert N. Emerson says inks work on feathers, too. Let's see if it dries. Oh, hello, Hal Talk. I'm so glad that you found Craft Hags for the first time. Welcome to the fam. Ah! Oh god. So yeah, that's really not working at all. We tried it though. I'm actually gonna find the inks. Where's the inks? Inks, inks, inks. Inks, inks, inks. Ooh, here's another idea. Since I don't know where the inks are quite yet. I do have these fabric markers. So let's try this. This is all this show is, Hal Talk. We're just doing stuff and hoping it doesn't explode. Maybe they'll, like, fluff back up after they're dry. Fabric markers should work. You'd think they would. I don't... Ah! My thing isn't that long. Where's the ink drawer? There's the ink drawer. I love that you guys can awkwardly watch me walk around my studio with this cord on my head. Let's just take the drawer. It's stuck. Let's bring it over here like a professional. Do fabric markers often explode on you? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. That kind of stuff just happens to me. So I think this is mostly watercolors. Let's see. That's peat brown ink. Black Indian ink. I thought it was India ink. Winsor Newton calls it something else. yeah, I think, let's just get a watercolor. Because that's like an ink, right? Oh yeah, here. Just in case all of you are wondering why I have so much stuff laying around, it's because I was once in art school and thought I was gonna be a famous artist of some kind. Not necessarily famous, but at least successful. That's okay. This is more fun. Cool, so I've just mixed together, and I had a little bit of acrylic paint in there. But we'll just try this too. Because I didn't really have the right color ink. Oh no, I just drug it through the latex. So I'm getting ideas now. I feel like it might be fun to just get some of this latex on some of these feathers. Because they're a little fluffy and like pretty right now. Oh man, don't let me forget we need to make nurnies. I'm gonna introduce you guys to the next best thing after slubs, which is nurnies. I'm not even quite sure how to spell nurny. N-U-N-R... N-U-R-N-E-Y? Nurnies? Maybe it is I-E. But yeah, it's like N-E-R-N-I-E-S. Nurnies. This is a nurnie. When you take a liquid latex, you know, spot like this, and you go like this. It works better on not saran wrap, because the saran wrap rips. But then you get these things. I actually learned this from a Stan Winston video, where they were making like guts to hang out of a zombie shirt. That's a nurnie. All it is like a little rolled up thing of liquid latex, but you can color it whatever color you want, and then they like dangle, and if you want it to look like worms or guts, you know, you can make like thick ones if you wanted to. You could get crazy with it. But we do want some nurnies on this. So I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit before I keep going at it. It actually looks a little better with some of those stiff ones. Let's just... Here, we're just gonna kill this thing. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So I'm gonna get some lilac and some liquid latex. We're just gonna kind of pull this apart so it looks like a kind of like a, I don't know, like there might be a dead bird on my head. Or some animal died up there and a bunch of feathers got stuck in it. Oh yeah, that's already better. Ugh. Ugh. And then maybe I'll get the silk dyes out and dye the feathers that way. Because I think that's how you're supposed to do it correctly. Now that I've thought about it for a minute, I remembered. Oh wait, people dye feathers all the time. But they use silk dye and stuff, I think. So that might be a thing I add later, and then that will be something that I update the Twitter moment with after this is all done and all the finishing touches are on, and I can get it on the mannequin upstairs and take some nice photography of it. But yeah, let's see what else this needs. First, let's put it on my head. So yeah. It's going to come down like this, just behind my ears. So right now, here's what it looks like on my head. Over headphones. But, so obviously, it looks pretty good. But then like, This area is still really visible and quite clean. And I already know we gotta fix that. And man, soon we gotta figure out where we're putting these slugs, because I'm pretty sure they're almost ready. Yeah, they'll be fine. Aw, man! It's so gross. But like right there. Oh, I love that. You know what? I'm gonna use liquid latex. No! Even better, my hot glue gun is on, and it works way better. Hee hee hee. Let's just put another one on right now. Let's do a small one. Yeah? Here you go, TK. This is all your fault. I mean, this is for you. So here, I'm actually gonna do a little thing of hot glue and push this down so that it stays folded the way we know it's gonna fold. And then that way that fold kind of has some structure to it. Gonna hold that still for a minute. Oh my gosh! Hal Talk. That's insane, and I love it. Hal Talk says, you should make some slugs out of candy and stick them up there. Then when you're wearing the cosplay, you can pick slugs off and eat them to really freak people out. I like you. That's such a good idea. So let's see if this stuck. Oh. No, it didn't. Oh yeah, I forgot hot glue doesn't stick to silicone. Well, we learned our lesson there. What we'll probably do is I'll wait until it is fully cured, like solid all the way through, and then I'm going to sew through the bottom of it. Like I could just make some stitches that don't go through the top, but they just kind of loop around inside with one of those curved needles with like a lot of thread. And then that way there's like a structural thing hanging onto it, and then the hot glue will stick to thread. So I'll put them on that way later. So you guys will just have to check the Twitter moment later in probably a few days to see what the slugs look like on. 'Cause, man. That's gonna be gross. So, but following that idea, I'm gonna push down a couple more of these folds. I love hot glue. It's the best. It's the best until it burns you. I'm just going to hold those down until they're all dry. This is already stuck there, which is cool. That fold is like there forever now. And then we've got this other nice fold over here. But let's stick it on top of itself. Oops. I'm going to use one of these just to hold that still. So I can do some other stuff. Alright. So now get some more hot glue over here. Get that stuck over there. then we'll do it right here too because it needs to fold there for the other one to work. So yeah, now all those little wrinkles are permanent. Permanent wrinkles! Oh look, it's Oboe Crazy! Hi, Oboe Crazy! So yeah, now when this gets pulled across my head, all those nice little folds will just be part of the deal. And that's going to be the front, this is going to be the back. So all this stuff is going to be sitting on top of my ponytail, just kind of making my ponytail look uglier, which is great. I really wish those slugs, the slugs, the animals, would dry so we could stick them on. Jeez! But let's do some more liquid latex, because I remember before I got sidetracked, I really wanted this side of the headband to be grodier. And let's just mix in some slubs. I need more slubs. I need more water. Doop boop boop. And we really want to color these slubs up because they're super bright white compared to the color underneath. And then maybe we'll just add a bunch more latex on top to make the whole thing look slimy. That sounds like fun. Okay, so our slubs are all painted up. Gotta get the back sides. Blap, blap, blap. Gross, gross, gross. And actually, let's get here. Here's what we're gonna do. This is a nice clean surface. It's gonna be easy to peel liquid latex off of. So what I'm gonna do is clear a little sprat. We're gonna go crazy making nurnies here in a minute. Just gonna pour a little bit of that out. What color do we want our nurnies to be? Probably some sort of gray. So we'll just mix that in here. And so because this is gonna dry clear, it looks really light gray right now, but it'll really just be the color of the paint I put in, which is like black. Which is pretty cool. It's hard to believe that it'll be okay when it looks like this wrong of a color. But it's really nice watching it dry. Ugh, it reeks. Yeah. So all I'm doing is spreading it out basically as thin as I can get it, because the thinner it is, the faster it'll dry. Ooh, should we make some glitter nurnies? I don't even know what that would look like. Get some of that glitter mica dripped in here after we get this as spread out as we can. And then they'll be like chunky nurnies. Chunky glitter nurnies! So I've just got some of this glitter mica. It's just natural mica flakes. And I don't want to go too crazy. But also, just to make a really big nurnie, we could start by laying some slubs in there, because slubs are the same kind of shape as nernies. So we'll like lay them out sideways. And then if we just kind of put some more in there, they'll just kind of ball up. I'm gonna make that stick down. Alright, I'm really excited to see what that turns into. And I know it's hard to see because it's all kind of glaring, but this is what it looks like. It looks like a little cake or something, right? Question, have you ever made armor from foam? Oh, yes, I have. I have made armor. I think specifically if you want to see something I've done recently, I would check out one of the C-Team live games from Acquisitions Incorporated. And one of the past events, I made costumes for the whole team, and you could look specifically at Dinar. He's the Dragonborn character, played by Ryan Hartman. I made a whole set of like silver armor for him that was made all out of EVA foam, and it was great. It wasn't brittle. I used barge, and that's it. It was really great. Oh look! Obo Crazy has found a link to the Penny Arcade channel. That's where you can check out all of the C-Team games, and only a few of them I dressed them for, but there are a couple now. And that's such a fun gig. I love working with them. They're the best. So I'm just gonna hit some of these nernies on top with some more latex. But yeah, to finish answering that question, it worked out really well. It's really lightweight and it bends. It doesn't, it's not brittle, I would say. It's flexible. And as long as you're not like expecting it to act like a bodysuit or anything like just crazy, you know, like it can't be too flexible, but it will flex. Like you're not gonna break it apart if somebody like knocks into it, because it's all, you know, foamy, you know. And I actually I either like to use liquid latex or Plasti-Dip spray on the outside, and that gives it a rubberized coating, and that helps with durability a ton, and then you can just paint right over it. It's amazing! So yeah, check out, I would specifically say you should look at the things that Punished Props does online. He works in mostly EVA foam and stuff like that, and he has done so many armor builds and stuff. Check him out. He's also a very nice guy. Yeah, I really like telling people about him because he's super nice and he tries very hard. But yeah, we're gonna wait for that to dry. If it's not dry in like another half an hour, I'll go get my blow dryer and we'll make some freaking nernies before we get out of here. But I think we could use some more moss. So I'm gonna cut off some more moss here. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Alright, I'm back. I'm just gonna pull off some more moss here, and I wanna like use some of these more stick-like shapes. It's less mossy, you know, like a thick thing, and more just kind of like straggly shapes. And I want to glue, I think I want to glue it down the sides a little bit. It's really hard to see, I'm so sorry. Something like that. And then that way, when it goes around my head, there's not just moss on top, there's moss coming down the sides a little bit, but not so much that it's going to add a lot of bulk. But that definitely looks disgusting. The other thing is, we definitely should be testing this bent before we start gluing things down the sides too much. These slubs are just trying to hitch a ride everywhere. Slobs. See, I think what I'm going to do is do a dot over here of hot glue. and press it on. And then as soon as this holds, I'll bend it again in the middle, and then we'll see where the other side lands, because you can't just glue it on both sides and then bend it, because it probably won't work that way. It'll like bubble down in the middle because there wasn't enough room. Definitely just always be testing stuff out fit-wise, making sure you're not, because even just adding stuff to like a shirt or a costume can change the fit in ways that you weren't expecting, and it really sucks when you really put a lot of work into the wearable part and then putting stuff like decoration on top of it ruins the fit that was great. That's happened to me a few times. Oh yeah, TK says, I cannot recommend Punish Props and Kamui cosplay books enough for foam props and armor. Kamui does a lot of Warbla, which is super awesome if you're looking for a much more durable option. I would definitely recommend checking out Kamui's books too. She's incredible and nice and amazing, and I've bought all her books for years. So I'm just gonna, while that glue dries over here, I'm just gonna keep hitting this with some liquid latex just to change up the texture. We have this nice slub over here we already forgot about. Put that on top. Yeah, let's put this right here. Right here. Ew! So yeah, we already look like somebody who may live in a place where there's not a lot of light and they don't get to see themselves very often, or they have no interest in seeing themselves because they aren't that vain, and that's Scrummy. Scrummy does not give a crud. So let's check this out. Yep, that's on there. So now we're gonna bend it like it's on my head, figure out where that sits. Slubs! I am so sticky. Everything is sticky to me. Drop some glue on there and press. Hot! It's hot. I didn't choose the slub life chose me. Oh my god. I love all these slub phrases. They just make me laugh. Slubs are just so funny, you guys. Can't get over it. So yeah, when you look at that, let's just kind of look at it in the context of our outfit, and where this is gonna go, in case you missed the first part, is right here on the head. This is kind of a black doodle right now, but that's where we wanted to add the interest, and so this is what's gonna be draping over my head in this sort of fashion. Let me get it in the camera. Oh, I just stuck my elbow in something. Of course I did. So yeah, that really adds a nice, messy, just kind of matted hair looking, Radagast looking feel to it. Oh, I have so much latex on my elbow now. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I was worried about how bright that green is, but next to all that gray and with all those slubs on it, it's not too loud. I don't mind that green. I like it, you guys. So, you can already see some of this latex, it's getting darker on the edges. Yuck. But I want this to dry faster. I think I'm going to find either my heat gun or... Where's the heat gun? I will be right back. Let's take a break. I'm going to hit the bathroom. Everybody get some tea or some other drink that excites you. I'm going to get all this crap off my elbow. And we'll be right back. Alright, peeps! I'm back. I found the hairdryer, and I actually did a little bit of it while I was gone, because I know that that wouldn't be like a ton of fun to watch. As you can see, it's a little bit darker now. We didn't mix in as much paint as I thought we did. I thought it was going to end up that color. I was wrong. So yeah, let's try some nernies. And so we're just going to start from the edge here and just roll it off. And yep, that's super disgusting. Let's see how big of a nerny we can make. Like, if I can make one big long one that's the whole length of this, I'm gonna be happy. So yeah, just roll it. And that's actually a pretty nice color. I know it's hard to tell, but it's like translucent and smoky a little bit. And you just like, you know, rub. Rub, rub, rub. And you don't have to do it in a straight line. You could like go as far in as you want in the middle and then let this stuff just kind of ball up however it wants to. Or you could be really methodical with it and make like a nice even one. But, you know, where's the fun in that? You guys, it's so gross. I can't tell if my chat stopped or if all of you are just real quiet. Everybody say something. Something! Huh. Maybe you're all just still getting tea. That's probably what happened. Yeah, so when you roll over the little slubs, they just kind of ball up in there and make like a weird knob. It's great. Yeah, none of you were talking. The last thing I see is, I didn't choose the slub life, the slub life chose me. I'm gonna redo this really quick. What? It says the D&D channel isn't available. Oh, that would be a problem, right? Well, yeah, chat's gone. So I'm just, I don't know what any of you are saying. So I'm just gonna keep talking. We are not unfamiliar with technical difficulties on this show, though, so I ain't bothered. And, I'm just gonna trust that you guys are, completely mind blown by this nerny we're making right now. Because it is disgusting. And my mind's pretty blown. Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix this chat again, because, wow! Hello? Chat. Yeah, I can't even send a chat. How weird! Oh well. I'll just yell into the void. Hello! I don't even know what we're gonna do with this nerny once I've made it. All I'm doing is trying to, like, tighten it up as much as possible. And as you can see, like, there's kind of this weird spot in the middle that's gonna fold over weird. And there's a slub right in there. Oh, gross. Oh, gross. I really wish I could see what you guys are saying, because look at this thing. Ugh! It just touched me. So we've got This big ol' nonsense thing, it's got some slubs in it. It kind of looks like something that your cat barfs up when they got real sick. And the cool thing about these is you can kind of stick them to themselves if you catch them early enough before they dry. So you could like twist this together in like that shape, just kind of tighten it in some places if you want to. If it's dried too much, you won't be able to get it to stick without more liquid latex, but that's totally a thing. The sad part is all those little glitters that we put in there aren't visible, but it did make the whole thing a little chunky. That's disgusting, and it's quite light when we hold it up to our headdress thing. That's really bright white compared. So if we wanted to put this on somewhere, uh-oh, it's trying to hitch a ride already. Actually, this could be fun. Just rip it. Rip it a little bit. See if we can't, you know, make it into a little bit more fun of a shape before we get some more paint. Let's get some more of that black paint. Where'd that go? Do I keep putting it away? Is that what I'm doing? So what we can do is we can just mix this paint in with a little bit more latex. I want that brown paint though. Oh, there it is. Found it! Ugh. Mix that in with some latex. Paint that on top of the nurney to really get it that dark color we need. Doot 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 doot. Let's hold it up. Yeah, that's way better. That's not gonna be like the main focus if we put it on, because it's a lot darker now. So we're just gonna let that dry. I'm gonna paint the other one too. I really like this piece, so I'm just gonna tear that off. And then that piece too. So we'll paint all these nurnies. I really love adding these to things. I added a bunch to the goblin costume when I made that last year for D&D. The goblins were pretty messy, uncivilized creatures, and I felted their entire garments myself so that the fabric could look really chunky and, you know, made with very low technology, because goblins aren't incredibly intelligent. So, but I did add a lot of nurnies to that, like in with liquid latex that I had painted brown, so it looked like a bunch of like dirt and mud and maybe poop. But it worked. People were like, "Ew, are you gonna get that everywhere?" And I was like, "No, I won't." I'm gonna try refreshing the chat again and see if I can't see what you guys are saying yet, because this is weird. Nope, it says the D&D channel is unavailable. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I can't even see myself streaming anymore, so it says I'm still streaming, so I'm just gonna keep going. This is so weird. It's like the whole world disappeared. But it says 116 of you are watching? So now? What on earth? What on earth? Yeah, let's try this chat again. Ah! Nope, I can't send any chats. That is the strangest thing. I've never seen that happen before. Alright. Alright, I'll just keep going. It's all good. But so yeah, looking at this now, we're just going to look at it from every angle. We still got some white spots because that's not dried liquid latex. And we got to remember that we're going to be adding slugs. Not slubs, slugs. These are the slugs I made. I think one's going to go here, because that'll just be right up next to my head. It'll probably sit right about here, which will really gross people out. So that'll look good right there. You can put another slug up there. Little baby slug over here. And then I think I'm going to keep it to 3 on here. And then the other thing I plan to do is after I can dye this like grody feather mess, I'm going to glue this whole clip underneath. And then this will just all stick together to become kind of like a frilly mess that just enhances my ponytail, making it look a little messier and gross without actually doing too much to my hair. Yeah, let's just take a look at that. Assuming that this white thing isn't white anymore. I really like how this is working. There are some clean spots left, but I don't mind that. You know, like, it doesn't all need to look like it's covered in tar. You can see, especially right here, I've got a lot of nasties. Then we've got some of those mica flakes on there to add glitter, but not too much. Those are kind of mixed all in. But yeah, we're getting somewhere with this. I think that's about all I want to add to it right now, though. Especially because the whole stream is acting weird. I think I'm going to end a little early today. If you guys are even listening anymore, I don't even know. But, if you're watching this on a VOD, you're going to be like, what is happening? But I do want to thank Sirenscape. They've been providing the incredible noisy birds and the stream that is super relaxing to listen to while we craft. Thank you to everybody who showed up who's brand new here. You can check out Craft Hags on Instagram at Craft Hags, and then same with Twitter. The Twitter moment is at the top of the Craft Hags Twitter. That's where I'm going to be posting all the really nice pictures I take of the finished pieces, and then that's where you'll see the finished whole thing together at the end. So if you can't keep up every week, just check back there all the time. I'm going to be adding a lot more this afternoon because I finally got my photo set up all perfected, and I'm really excited to go use it. So yeah, there will be new pictures of the corset after I get some more beads put on it. I've been working really hard on that, and I'm really excited to show you. It looks super cool. I'm really excited. Like the little mushrooms, I've been adding beads to them, and they look really good. I'm excited about that. But so, the boots are done. I think, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing next week, but we have 8 more episodes of Craft Hags before the season is over. Near the end, I really want to do a Snack Hags episode where I'm completely dressed up and I cook, because cooking is also something I like to do in my spare time. I love cooking as much as possible, and I think it would be fun to find like a scrummy style meal, snack, I don't know, drink? Maybe we'll make one of each. So hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Danny Hartel, or you can talk to people on the Craft Hags Discord. Check that out. Thank you, Crystal, for setting up that Discord for us. That's where you can go hang out with people who watch this show if you guys want to talk about D&D or crafting or any combination of any of that, or, you know. ask people for help, just check out what other people are doing, make some friends, maybe you'll join a adventuring party in there, I don't know. But go check that out, that's a great little community we've got going on. But yeah, I will see you guys next week, right here, Monday at noon, as usual. So yeah, stay tuned everybody, and I really hope you guys can hear me. I still don't know. So, bye!